Today we're making a Côte de Boeuf, and with that, which goes together perfectly, a Café de Paris butter. Welcome to Callekocht. Action and action. Oh, that's delicious. Isn't that crazy? As I said, this is a Côte de Boeuf, easily recognizable by the rib bone. And if you think about it, this whole thing is a double sirloin steak, if you will. We want to roast this wonderful piece whole today. It weighs 1.2 kilos. Now we need to trim off at least 200 grams for the bone. That's still more than enough for 4 people. And these are our ingredients for the Café de Paris butter. Paprika, white pepper, curry powder, sea salt, anchovies, tomato paste, capers, garlic, half a chili pepper, mustard. Additional ingredients, a bit of lemon juice, a finely chopped shallot, and that's Worcestershire sauce. And here we have a little splash of brandy. And on top of that, we're adding dill, chives, and parsley. So we're starting with our herb butter. And to that, I'm adding some of my room temperature, very soft butter. And then first, all the liquids. Our cognac, the Worcestershire sauce, and of course our lemon juice. So we already have a bit of moisture here. And the onions also give us a bit of moisture. That's why I'm adding them in right away. And we want to puree everything here with the immersion blender. Now we have a wonderful opportunity to add our other spices. Paprika powder, white pepper, curry, salt, our friendly anchovy, tomato paste, capers are essential. Garlic and chili give us power. Finally, the mustard. The parsley goes in there. And I'm chopping the chives and dill a bit smaller so the blender doesn't have such a hard time. And the chopped herbs are added in as well. Now we can wonderfully puree everything and mix it further. And now all the flavors are mixed together. And the anchovy, the capers, and the garlic, everything's great. Grated finely. Almost done with that. The rest is done by hand. Our nice warm butter goes into a bowl. And now we just sprinkle our herb mixture on top. Café de Paris actually sounds like France, but it was invented in Switzerland at a Café de Paris. And she made such a career there that she's still famous today. So mix everything nicely together, and then we'll make a little roll out of it. And now we just put our butter on a sheet of baking paper. And the herb butter already has this typical slightly brownish color. That's how it should look. Now we lay everything on top of each other like this. Now we can use a small angled spatula to push everything bit together. You can already see that we're getting a round roll here. And from this roll we can later cut wonderful slices. Now we just need to roll it up, pop it in the fridge, and once it's firm, we'll slice it. What we need now is a really nice hot pan. To find out if the right temperature is ready, I always drop a little bit of water in there. And look, when it's sizzling like that, you can be sure you've got just the right temperature. Our grill pan from Hoffman, beautifully coated. That's why we're not adding any oil in there. And we practically have the same effect as on the grill. Every meat lover is undoubtedly starting to absolutely salivate right now, at this very moment. At least I am. Sear it brown on both sides. So let's take a look underneath. Aha. The other side just the same. So now we're going to set it up like this on the bone because we want to cook it evenly in the oven. In the low temperature cooking method, that means the pan can come off. But before we do that, we want to season it just a little bit. So just taking it out of the pan for a moment. Very important, season it generously. 1.2 kilos of meat. Please don't forget that. Doesn't that look amazing? A double rump steak. Absolutely perfect. So now we're putting it back in our pan. I always like to set it up on the bone. I actually sear my meat a bit upright so that my oven cooks. Everything evenly at 90 degrees. So a little thyme, a little rosemary, just so it has a nice aroma in the oven. I have a whole bulb of garlic here. Let's take the paper off the garlic. But these little garlic cloves here, I also press down a bit. Later, we're going to have a really strong herb butter. But this way, I have aroma in my oven. So I've set my oven to 90 degrees on fan mode, and we're monitoring the whole thing with our core thermometer. Where will the meat take the longest to cook? Of course, right down at the bone. That's why I'm carefully inserting my meat thermometer down to the bone. And there we can measure. At the moment, it's due to the searing. Yeah, look, it's even dropping about 25 degrees, I guess. Close the lid, and we cook until it reaches 54 degrees. Very, very slowly, low temperature cooking, with anticipation. Just a few seconds. Separate us from a dry-aged Côte de Boeuf. The thousand just melts on the tongue. Only when speaking, I can already taste it. The whole kitchen absolutely smells of these herbs. And of course the herbs and garlic are burnt now, but the aroma is in the oven. So, of course, take the core thermometer out again. I've turned off the oven now. It's just the fan running now. And we're going to let it rest here for at least 10 minutes. And then it will be sliced. Now it has tipped over after all. Still hot. So, take a look at it. Doesn't that look appetizing? And now I have my little boning knife here. And now we're going to cut along the bone here first. But the bone is pretty hot. So, and we're definitely not throwing away these bone pieces. They're going into the next soup. Now we're switching the knife. And now we're going to do something that you actually shouldn't do. Let's cut right through the middle. Look at the knife. It goes right through the meat. So you really don't need to saw. And now take a look at it. Pink roasted chop. We've had the meat in the oven at 54 degrees Celsius. If you like it a bit more cooked, you can definitely add 1 or 2 degrees, slightly. We really like to eat that. So, and then we still have our Café de Paris butter here. That can melt on top now. I've been looking forward to that all day. I really didn't add any herb butter to it, just salt and pepper, which is already on the outside. The meat has its own flavor. Now a little Café de Paris. Yes, mister. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. Have fun recreating it. Your color. Bye.